Hello everyone, in this video we want to talk about the standard deviation in Microsoft Excel. At first, in previous videos we talked about the average and the mean functions in the Excel, and we say that the average will define the center of our data in our data set. So for example, if we have some data which define the sales over each month, by using the average function we can tell that in each month we will sell something like around 523,000. So this is the average function, but the standard deviation will tell us how is the variation among the data. So the standard deviation actually calculate the amount of variation from the average and say that each data may vary by this amount from the average function. It can be one standard deviation variation, or it can be two standard deviation variation. In the most cases, in the most data sets, the all range of the data will be included in the two standard deviation. So for example, if I have the average number at the center, I can tell in that in my data set, our data will not be less than the average minus 2 multiply of standard deviation. And we can say that in our data set we will not have a value more than average plus 2 standard deviation. So the data set will be in the range of, for example, this number to this number. But if you want to see more specific data, I suggest to use 1.5 standard deviation, which means that it's your range can be average minus 1.5 multiplied by standard deviation and the average plus 1.5 is standard deviation. By using 1.5 we will have more accurate data. So for example, we are telling that at the minimum case we will sell $155,000, for example, and at the maximum we will sell $871,000, and on the average we will sell $523,000. So by using the standard deviation, we can planning with the more accurate data. The standard deviation in the Microsoft Excel will be calculated by using the ST, DEV, P or S. What is the difference between the S and P? When you have a data set which can be unlimited, or it can be a large data set, and you just have some samples from that data set, you will use STDVS. So by using STDVS and putting the range that you want to make a standard deviation from that, you will have your standard deviation. So for example, right now my sales will be continued for the next month of 2020. In the month 11 will be continued, in the month 12 will be continued in the next year. So the sale data, these data is coming from unlimited data set. So I have to use the standard deviation S. But if your data set will not come from larger data, you can use .p, means that population. You will have to use these populations as standard deviation when you have all your data here in the Excel. So for example, if I published a book and the selling that book is ended by the month 10 of 2020, and I will not publish more and I do not want to sell more of that data, I can tell that a standard deviation population is this amount. So because I will not have more than this data in the future. But if you have more than data in the future, you have to use a standard deviation.s. And what is the variance? The variance is this amount powered by 2. Actually, the standard deviation is a square root of the variance. So the variance is the index that is used in the statistics, and it has different measure by average. So for example, if you are using currency dollar here, the standard deviation currency is a dollar as well, but the variance is not dollar anymore. It's dollar powered by 2, so it's not so useful when you want to describe the variation of the data to some people. But the standard deviation is more practical. So we use a standard deviation when we want to report something. But in the statistical term, in the equations of statistical, you use variance. And also we will have a population variance, which its definition is exactly the same as the standard deviation population. So this is how the variance and the standard deviations works in the Microsoft Excel. I hope this will be useful for you. Until next video, goodbye.
In order to watch more training videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Diaco Ltd. And if you want to see our products, please visit our website, diaco.co.uk.